It was a rainy Friday night when my hunger got the best of me. I had just moved to a new city, and my kitchen was still a chaotic mess of boxes and utensils. Cooking wasn't an option, and I didn't want to venture out in the storm. So, like any modern soul, I decided to order some food online. Little did I know that this seemingly ordinary decision would turn into a real-life horror story. I settled into my cozy living room, the dim glow of the TV casting eerie shadows across the furniture. I pulled up my phone and opened the food delivery app. After scrolling through countless options, I finally settled on a local pizzeria with stellar reviews. The pictures of their cheesy, mouth-watering pies had me salivating. I placed my order, a large pepperoni pizza and some garlic knots. The estimated delivery time was 45 minutes, but given the stormy weather, I expected a slight delay. I decided to kill time by watching a suspenseful movie to distract myself from my growling stomach. As the minutes ticked by, I couldn't help but glance at the clock. The promised 45 minutes turned into an hour, then an hour and a half. I called the restaurant, but the line was busy. I figured they were swamped with orders due to the weather, so I tried to be patient. But my hunger was gnawing at me like a wild beast. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the doorbell rang. I sprang up from the couch and dashed to the door, excitement coursing through me. My mouth watered at the thought of devouring that peeping hot pizza. But when I opened the door, my anticipation turned into confusion. Standing there was a delivery driver, drenched from head to toe. Rainwater dripped from his uniform onto my doormat. He didn't say a word, just held out the soggy pizza box and a small, dripping paper bag containing the garlic knots. I hesitated but took the food, thinking maybe they were just having a tough night. As I handed him the money, I noticed his eyes. They were hollow, devoid of any emotion, like he'd seen something he couldn't forget. I closed the door and hurried to the kitchen, my hunger overcoming my unease. I opened the pizza box, and a wave of disappointment washed over me. The cheese was congealed and rubbery. The pepperoni slices looked more like cardboard than meat, and the crust was oddly discolored. I unwrapped the garlic knots only to discover they were cold, damp, and tasted like they'd been sitting out for hours. I decided to call the pizzeria again, hoping to voice my complaint and maybe get a refund. But the phone just rang and no one answered. I even tried to look up the restaurant online, but I couldn't find any trace of it. It was as if it had vanished into thin air. Frustrated and hungry, I tossed the unappetizing food into the trash. I couldn't shake the eerie feeling that something was deeply wrong with that delivery. Who was that driver? Where had he come from? And why was the pizzeria impossible to contact?